everyone, and welcome back to Lady Jane Books. Today, I'm doing my January wrap-up and February TBR. Before we get started, it has come to my attention that Lady Jane Books has now surpassed over 140 subscribers. That's incredible, it's amazing, it's a dream come true, and I'm extremely thankful. And that means I will now be commencing with the sacred jazz handstands. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14!
Whoop whoop! 14 jazz hands, yeah. But as always, I am so thankful to each and every person who views my channel, leaves a comment, and definitely subscribes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's dive in. I had a very good reading month volume in January. Maybe not the best for quality of books, I'll get into that, but I read a lot for a slow reader in January. The first book that I read was The Haunting of Bryn by Wendy Webb. I have a full review of this. I will link it in the description and in the cards if you're interested to hear my rant about this book. But basically this was about a woman who experienced immense tragedy and escapes to a small lakeside town. There she is met with a creative cast of characters as well as a ton of mystery. I don't want to say too much about this. If you're interested to learning more about my thoughts, definitely go check out that video. The second book that I read in January was Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. I do have a review for this book, which will be uploaded later this week. So if you want to hear my full thoughts on Nightmare by Chad Nicholas, please stay tuned. And the final book that I read in January was The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. I once again have a full review of this on my channel. If you want to hear my in-depth thoughts, please go check that out. This book is a Jane Eyre retelling set in modern times. It depicts Jane, who is a professional dog walker and a professional thief. While she's on the job, she meets the alluring Eddie Rochester, and she decides to steal his heart. But does Eddie have some thoughts of his own? This book was okay. It wasn't the greatest. Again, I go through all of my thoughts and opinions in that review video. So if you want to go check it out, it's going to be linked below in the description. And now for my honorable mentions of January. I did continue to read It by Stephen King. This is a behemoth of a book. And being a slow reader, I don't understand why I thought I could fly through it in 1 month. It has now been over 2 months since I started it, so I don't think that was a realistic expectation set by Lady Jane. But I did chip away at this a little more. I'm about 700 pages into it. I don't know what I think of it quite yet, so you're gonna have to stay tuned to see my journey with this book. And the final book of January, which I started and I'm in the middle of right now, is The Black Company. I started this as a read-along with Slowly Read. I'm about halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it so far, but I did not get to finish it, so it's technically in progress. So overall, that was not a bad reading month for Lady Jane, the slow reader. Now let's dive into my February TBR. The first book that I want to read in February is No Exit by Taylor Adams. I have seen this a bunch of places on BookTube, and I've heard that it's a very fast-paced thriller, and lately that's what I've been craving. I want something that's quick, action-filled, and really mysterious, so I think this is going to be a really good book. I don't know too much about it. The only thing that I know is that it pertains to a woman who is visiting her sick mom and she gets stranded in a hotel, and everybody seems really nice and friendly at this hotel. But then she sees something very unnerving in one of the cars parked outside, and she realizes that one of these strangers may have a very dark secret. This sounds phenomenal. It sounds so fun and cool. I've heard it's very quick to read, so I'm excited for No Exit by Taylor Adams. Up next is a novella that I hope to read in February. I want to read Blanky by Keelan Patrick Burke. I have read a couple of Keelan Patrick Burke's. The most recent one was Sour Candy, which really freaked me out and was very strange and bizarre. And this one's kind of been on my radar ever since I've heard about this author. I don't know much about it since it is a very short novella. However, I do suspect that it is about a man who is grieving for his lost child. Keelan Patrick Burke is a master of creating very, very depressing reads. So I don't know how this is going to go, but I've heard really great reviews on it. So I'm really excited to read Blanky by Keelan Patrick Burke. The next book that I hope to read is The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. I bought this on Kindle recently. I've heard about it throughout the years, but recently I saw a review for it on BookTube and it sounds fascinating. I believe that this is about a man who is abducting and keeping girls who he refers to his butterflies. I've heard this is very dark, very creepy, scary, serial killer-like, so I'm really thinking it's going to be intense, but I've heard excellent reviews from it, so I'm super excited to read The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. And of course, since it is going to be February and Jane wants some warm and fuzzy feelings, I am going to be reading some romances. The first romance book that I hope to pick up is Judging Books by Shay Savage. I've mentioned Shay Savage on my channel quite a few times. She's my favorite romance writer. I've read a few of Shay Savage's books, including Transcendence, Declan, and the Evan Arden series, and I've loved all of them. So when I think of romance books, I think of Shay Savage, and I've really wanted to read Judging Books for a long time. So I figure February is the best time to do it. I don't know too much about this one. I believe it's about a good girl who falls in love with a bad boy. And you know Lady Jane loves her bad boy books. So I think this is going to be very entertaining, really spicy, and a lot of fun. And the final book that I am so hyped for this February is A Court of Silver Flames. I cannot wait for this book to be released. I am a huge Sarah J. Maas fan, and I love her series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. And this is the next installment for that series. This is the fourth installment of this series, and it follows some of the more minor characters within her books. I believe that this one follows the main character's sister, Nesta, as she learns to fight and she kind of gets over her like bratty ways. So I'm really, really excited about A Court of Silver Flames. This is one of my most anticipated books of 2021. It's almost here. I've pre-ordered it. I'm gonna have it in my hands in less than 3 weeks. I am so excited for A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. And that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yeah. Judging books. We're judging books. Yeah. Judging books. I'm judging books. It's funny. I'm judging the book of judging books by judging the book of its cover. What? No. I was feeling really bright today. Like I was imagining myself on like a summer vacation on a beach somewhere. So I dressed up in my more bright colors because it is a new year and we are heading into hopefully nicer weather. Super excited for it. So bright and sunny Jane is back. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Lady Jane Books. I forgot my earrings. Excuse me. Oh, Jane, you're getting dressed in front of a camera. What do you think this is? It's not one of those channels, Jane. I keep feeling like this is falling out because I haven't worn one in so long. I don't even want to say how long it took me to like place it in my hair this morning. Super embarrassing. This quarantine has really depleted Lady Jane's basic life skills, to be honest. Everyone, and welcome back to Lady Jane Books. My lights aren't plugged in. I just realized my lights aren't actually plugged in, and I feel like, I don't even know if you can see it, but I feel like we have to do things the right way here. That's incredible. It's amazing. It's a dream. Whoop, whoop! 14 jazz hands, yeah. So let's get started. I'm tearing up. I'm so appreciative of my subscribers, and also my makeup went into my eye this morning, so. Whew. Thank you so much for this award. No, Jane. Nightmare was a. This cough is a nightmare. Oh my goodness. And the final full book that I read in January was The Woman? No, it's not The Woman, Jane. However, the next book that I hope to read in, but recently she has a really cool way of writing romance that's very brutal but really sweet, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, Jane. That doesn't sound sweet or romantic at all, but you do you. Happy Valentine's, Jane. I am a huge fan of her Court and Thorns? That doesn't sound right, Jane.